So I think that any self-respecting philosopher, anyone who is passionate and serious about answering these kind of questions, needs to answer one question that is what I perceive as the big philosophical question. And that question is, what is life and what is its purpose? So I am going to answer that question now then. I thought about it for a while. How can we give a good answer to this question, even if we don't have, the 100% complete, full, 100% perfect and correct answer? How can we answer it in a way that covers as much as possible, giving an answer that is, as reasonable and complete as we can, even if we don't know all the truths and everything. So I thought about it for a while, and I figured out that there are three ways to answer the question. The three ways can be considered three answers, but the union of those three approaches to answer the question is what, in my opinion, gives the most complete answer, the true answer to what is life and what is its purpose. So the three questions that we can, or three approaches, because there are three different approaches. One is the scientific approach. The other one is the philosophical approach to answer the question. And the third one is the personal approach, how you answer the question. So I'm going to go one by one. And then the union of all three of them is going to give us the best answer. Or at least an answer that can take us in the right path to find the best answer. So the first one, the scientific way to answer it, can also be called the proven answer so far. Because the scientific stuff is not like the philosophical stuff, which is just basically anyone that just came up with those ideas. And it is not your personal opinion either. The scientific stuff is what has already been proven by science. So it is the real answer. But you're gonna see that it feels incomplete. So that's why we need the other parts as well. So the scientific answer first to what is life is the same thing as saying the chemistry related answer. So, from chemistry, we can tell you, or we can tell, or we have been able to discover at this point so far, that life is the union of a specific set of elements that exist in the universe in a very specific way, and then after those specific elements that unite in a specific way interact in a very specific way, they end up joining and forming something new molecules, new things that then continue their interaction and eventually form something else that can be considered a living being. And it's kind of like a recipe, if you think about it. A recipe of elements in the universe that united in a specific way so that it gave rise to that specific living being. But then that recipe can have a tremendous amount of differences or changes after it begins, from those elements that are needed and those interactions that are needed. And then you end up having not just a living being, but a tremendous number of possible living beings from that recipe. So although that recipe, this part I don't know for sure, I'm not the expert, but this recipe may be the same one, maybe it's not the same one, who knows. It has a tremendous amount of change that can give rise to a tremendous number of super different or similar species and living beings. So then even if the living beings look extremely different, the recipe, or what life is, which is that union that is what gives rise to something that is alive, it's basically what life is. Yes, the recipe. And what the many different living beings are just examples of what life is, or examples of the shapes and forms that life recipe can take. But if we think about it, okay, this answers what life is from a chemistry related point of view. The union of those elements, that is what gives rise to something that is alive. In many forms, in many ways, but that is what gives rise to a living being. But that only answers what is life. What about its purpose? We can still answer it with science, but we go from chemistry to biology. And to be more exact, I think we have to dig into the evolutionary branch of species in biology. So when we dig in the evolutionary branch of biology, we can see, or it seems, at first sight, it seems like the purpose of life is to give birth to more life, or to continue the cycle of life, to keep life going. Seems to be the purpose of life, right? But if you dig further and you think deeper about this, you begin to look at it in a deeper way than just reproduction, you will realize that there is more to life, especially to intelligent life. The more intelligent life is, the more there is to it. There's more to life than just reproducing to keep the species going. There's much more to it. You may realize, like I did, that there's one thing in common, however, among all living beings, even the ones that it's difficult to think that they could have come from a similar life recipe as you, like bacteria, that kind of thing, looks too different from us. It's difficult to think that it came from the same recipe. And the reality is that we don't know for sure. Maybe it came from a slightly different recipe, but it's probably a similar kind of stuff. So it's difficult to think of something in common. Doesn't look like there's anything in common, but there's one thing that is not physical, that is not about the physical form, that is common, and that is the struggle to improve, the struggle to do better in your life, the struggle to get ahead further, the struggle to improve. And this, when we look at animals or beings that are not evolved or not very intelligent, this struggle just looks like the struggle to survive, to look for food, that kind of thing, the struggle to reproduce, that kind of thing. But when we look at smarter species like us, like humans, we're going to see that this is a struggle to do better, to improve, to make things better. If you have children, for your children, but also for yourself, is not just about survival and reproduction or even ambition. It's more than that. It is like some sort of deep ingrained desire to make not just yourself but your species better for the next generation and for all the generations that will come after that. So this deep desire to evolve, to become greater, to become more, to raise your level. If you want to look at it in a simple way, raise your level. It feels and it looks like it may be a deeper purpose, a bigger purpose for life. And biology, science, evolution has already proven this, I believe so far, that it may not be the only one, but it's definitely one of the big purposes of life, according to science, according to biology and evolution, is to improve, to get better, to do more, to raise it to the next level. Not just for you, but for your next generations. And if you think about it, for the species. Because if you manage to do something that really raises things to the next level, you're not the only one that benefits from it. Perhaps all the members in your species may benefit from it. And obviously, if you look at beings that are less smart, like birds, maybe building a smarter nest or a better nest is their way of improving. It looks like survival for us, but they are improving. For us, making new scientific discoveries is improving, and that is not survival. That is, improvement. Improvement. It doesn't matter if the guys are getting paid, because you can always find a way to make inference and say, no, it's still survival in a way. No, but it's also improving in other ways. So far that is the scientific answer. Obviously, science will continue to discover new things, other things. So the scientific answer, which is the proven answer so far, I hope and I know it will get bigger and better, and we will find out more. So it tells us that life is the union of those elements that makes living beings like us. That the purpose of life is not just surviving and reproducing to keep the species going, but also improving yourself, improving your species, improving everything around you, your environment. Improvement. Jumping to the next level. So that is the answer of science, and that is a true answer to what life is and what is its purpose. But for intelligent species and for intelligent people, like us, like it's my case, you think about it and you realize that there should be more. It feels like it is not the complete answer. Like you feel like there is more to life than just a recipe that happened randomly just because we got lucky, and then just surviving and reproducing. Or there's more to it. There has to be more to it, and it feels very clear. We can feel it. We can feel that there's more to it, and that is, in my opinion, what gave rise to the other answers. The other answers get into more interesting territory. They get into much more thought-provoking territory, and they exist because of that. They exist because people are thoughtful. People are smart. They think a little further beyond, and they begin to think, and when they get good ideas, they realize, what if this good idea can lead us to more answers, or to the right answer? Who knows? So these ideas that smart people came up with to answer what is life and what is its purpose, they have not been proven yet. So we don't know for sure if they are just pure speculation or if they are the real deal. What we know is that they are good ideas, and eventually one of those good ideas could lead us to the right path and to the right answer, to the more complete answer. I put all of those things, which are many, many, in the same bag, and that is the bag that I call the philosophical answer to what is life and what is its purpose. A lot of stuff falls in this philosophical answer. I will put all religions in the philosophical answer. Right now it doesn't matter if they're true or not, if half of it is made up or not, doesn't matter. What matters is that they try to answer with more than just the scientific approach. So put it in the back. The philosophers that talked about this, like the big philosophers, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, all those guys, their answers for this go in the back. If someone like me gives an answer for it, like I'm doing right now, it goes in the philosophical answers back. And I think that the philosophical answer, you need to realize that it is about getting new, good ideas that can give us better ideas or better ways for science to finally prove it. You should look at it that way. You shouldn't look at the philosophical answers as if they were the final answer, the real answer, because we haven't proven it yet. We don't know yet for sure. So, and there is, instead of just telling you many answers, let's just leave the philosophical answer that way. There's a lot of stuff that can go there. The philosophical answer, obviously, tells us about God, a higher being, a higher entity, something that is above humankind, something that is above people. The philosophical answer, that is a big theme and a very common theme in the philosophical answer to what life is and what is its purpose. So the philosophical answer says, well, maybe the stuff proven by science is all true and it's all proven, but maybe it didn't happen randomly. So maybe life is something that some higher entity wanted to create. Or maybe its purpose is not just this survival and this improvement of species. Maybe there is another higher purpose for life, because it makes sense to think that if it was created by some sort of higher being, then it was for a reason, right? And then that reason is what the real purpose of life is, not just the one discovered by science, but more than that. And obviously figuring out, or not just figuring out, but guessing, because this is guessing. It could be smarter than all you wanted, but this is guessing. Guessing what that higher purpose is, and who or what this higher creator is what the philosophical answer does. And what the people that try to answer the philosophical answer in their own way, that's what they are doing. They're trying to guess what the real answer that they don't know is. Not all of them, but many of them do reference this existence of some sort of like God, like higher being, and then they go ahead and they speculate on trying to guess why will this higher being create life, and more specifically, why will it create your life, your species life. Not just all life, but we tend to, obviously, this is natural, this is by instinct. We tend to focus not on all life, but on the life of our species, of us, of humans. This is, instinct. You will always focus on your species first. So answering what that is, the reality is that we don't know. But when we listen to smart answers, you get closer. You may get an idea. Perhaps someday, someone, I would do pretty good things. I would do great things, I think, like writing books, writing stories, giving good talks, that kind of thing. I don't think I'm gonna be the one that's gonna give this answer, but maybe I can motivate others that are capable of giving this answer. From the speculations and the ideas of previous philosophers and previous people that tackled those big questions, someone in the future can finally speculate and realize something that ends up being the real answer. So I think if this is going to motivate someone, I hope it does. I hope it does. So I'm not going to give my philosophical answer for this. I'm just going to say that I do believe that there's more. I'm pretty sure that this is not just some random thing that happened just because. But I don't have the real answer. It will be a pure guess. However, we're gonna jump to the last branch in my answer. First, the scientific one, which is what is proven, but it doesn't feel complete. It feels incomplete. Second, the philosophical one, which is what is not proven, what we don't know, but what feels, in our instinct, that there's truth. It feels like there's truth to it, so it is a big, 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 big deal. And people have believed in it, and people have thought about it, and people have felt it for ages. So the philosophical answer is a big deal. It's the one that obviously talks about God and higher beings and a higher meaning and a higher reason for life and all that. But then we have the personal answer. The personal answer is pretty interesting too. The personal answer is not the proven universal answer either. I think that maybe in many cases you could even put it in the philosophical bag, but it falls better outside of that bag and into a personal, individual kind of thing. So the personal answer, as the name suggests, is what you in particular, you, the one that's looking at this and listening to this right now, what you believe that life is, depending on your own life experience, and what you say or what you think that is the meaning of life, depending on your own life's experience. So the personal answer, which I think is as important as the scientific one and the philosophical one, because even though we're very similar, but at the same time we're very different, so we all can come up with different answers. But I think that these many different answers that are similar will actually give us a better view or a better idea of what path to follow to get to a concrete, complete, and true answer. Because different people will give you different ideas, but there will be many ideas that will converge, and there will be many people that will be following like certain ideas that many people believe due to their personal experience. So they may be worth investigating more. They may be worth throwing them in the scientific bag and having the scientists really do their job to see if they are the real deal or not, or figure out how they can test it. I don't know how they can test that. But there is a way. There's a way for everything. There's always a way, but sometimes we just don't know it, but there is always a way. So what I'm going to tell you to finish is basically my personal answer for what is life and what is its purpose, from my point of view, from my life, my answer. So life, in my opinion, is, aside from the scientific stuff, which is proven, so we cannot deny that. That is true. We cannot deny that about life. It is also the experience, this very unique. There's only one, I think. If you go into the multiverse theory and all that, there are many. But let's leave the multiverse theory and that stuff, on the side. Life is the unique experience that you have as yourself. In our case, as humans, as people, the very unique experience that you have as you. This unique person that you are, this unique body that you have, these unique experiences that you will have, that no one else will have, just you. That is what life is. But what is its purpose? Its purpose, in my opinion, for me, and I think that for anyone else, but we will not all have the same opinion about what life is and what its purpose is doing your best to fulfill your personal potential. We all have unique personal potentials, things that we can do, stuff that we're good at, that other people will also be good at, but you will be good at it in a unique way. So I think that the real purpose, other than obviously surviving, perhaps reproducing, is to fulfill your true potential, or to fulfill your personal potential to its fullest. And in order to do that, you need to realize what you're good at first. We're all good at something. There's no such thing as a person that is not good at anything. That's completely wrong. Even if you think even if you think you are that way, that's wrong. There's always something that you're good at. Maybe you haven't discovered it yet, in which case you need to work on that, because it will make your life much happier, fuller, better. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to go down a path where you can fulfill your personal potential. And if your personal potential is something that isn't just good for you and for your family, but it's also good, we can't even go as far as saying for your race, for people, for anyone and for everyone, then it is something that is worth doing for sure. My hobbies like writing very epic, entertaining, engaging, and memorable and inspiring stories. You know, my hobby, my biggest hobby, that's my biggest hobby. A second hobby that I have is the funny show that I began to make the other day. But it's a secondary one, to be honest. I think I'm good at it, but it's a secondary one. Those hobbies, I think, are part of fulfilling my potential. Which, like I told you in this philosophical video, I think is part of the purpose of life. If you have potential, fulfill it. If there's something beneficial, something good, something great that you can do it. Or figure out how to do it if you don't know yet. Do your best to be the best that you can do. The best version of this unique you. That may be the only one that will exist of you in all of eternity. Especially if you don't count on the multiverse theory that says that there may be many versions of you, like they say in the anime Steins Gate, which I recommend, by the way. The first half of the anime was a little crappy, but the second half was very interesting. People that like philosophy and anime should not miss that. For the second half, not the first one. And yeah, I think that's it. That's my answer to my personal answer to what is life and what is its purpose. The scientific one is what is proven. We cannot deny it, so it's good to know it. The philosophical one is where it gets into really interesting territory. God theories, higher purposes, all that. It's always interesting. I look forward to seeing what new big breakthroughs and new answers and discoveries come to us, not just from science, but also from philosophers and from the philosophical approach or answer, which even includes the religious stuff in there. Because for me, in my opinion, the religious stuff, religions, are just a sub-branch of the philosophical answer about the higher purpose of our life as humans on earth, and who knows, maybe even beyond that. So yeah, that's it. That's all I can tell you about this for now. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you found it inspiring. I love talking about these things. I may not be the greatest expert or anything like that, but I am someone that finds it interesting. And when you find something interesting and invigorating and inspiring, it makes a difference for you. So don't let it go. Have it like me, at least as a hobby. It is always an energizing hobby to have. So that's it for today and for this philosophical video with my answer to what is life and what is its purpose.